Gosh, just that fast, I forgot to go get my coffee or tea or whatever I made, but it's mixture of coffee because I'm getting off of that doggone coffee, and it's more tea than coffee. But well, I got to say all of that to y'all. Y'all ain't got to know all of that. But oh my gosh, while I'm rolling the recording now, it's on. What is being led in my spirit? Strong, very strong. I asked my Father, my higher power, my God, how to recognize when you are in your essence of you, your spirit. How do you know when you're being led by the Spirit, or you're in your inner being? You're walking in the essence, in the core, in the true you, in the Spirit. How can we know this? How do we realize when we're there? And I asked this maybe over, this question has been about a good week now. It's been about a good week. And I finally got the answer this morning as I was getting in my private time with my God, with myself, with my spirit, staying in tune with my spirit and the Creator, the whole source energy, the universe. It came to me. How we recognize, or how we can realize when we are there, that we have tapped into our true being, when we have entered into that space of no worries, that space of no sickness, that space of no drama, that space of peace, that space of love, that space of clarity, that space of making wise decisions and creative ideas, and the space of you, who you are truly supposed to be living through. We're supposed to live and move and have our true being from that space, from that spirit, from that power, that the oneness of everything. And yet, that space is blank, zero, nothing. Okay, how are we going to recognize when we're in that space? Boy, I wish I had my hot tea with me right now. Okay, how are we going to recognize it? The example that came to me was, and you know, this video looked like it's moving in slow motion, but I'm going to let it ride. I'm going to let it ride. Okay, the example that came to me this morning was, you know how you hold your breath? When you're holding your breath, you can't think. You can't think while you're holding your breath. That's the ultimate goal we're trying to reach when we enter into our core being, enter into the spirit, walking in the spirit, walking in the and moving and living and having our being from our core true self. From our true self, from that inner space, that inner being, the Most High. How do you know it when you're there? Because when you're there, you're not supposed to be doing, your mind is not doing all of this thinking, thoughts racing through your head. Okay, so now, when you're holding your breath and you're not thinking, That's when you know you're in your clear space. It's that same type of feeling. It's that same type of acknowledgement, awakening, conscience, awareness. That's when you're aware that you're there in your spirit, one, in oneness, because you're not thinking. I wish I could explain it a better way regarding not thinking, but I'm going to give you the example. Okay, so now, when you're holding your breath as long as you can, you all of a sudden gonna, that's an example of the thoughts. You go into survival mode. You're gasping for your breath. If someone's suffocating you, you're in survival mode, struggling for your next breath. You can only hold your breath so long till you're gonna let go. That's the same way. Okay, remember now, holding our breath is the same thing when we're in the essence, because we can't think and hold our breath at the same time. When you reach your last holding up the breath and now you're survival mode trying to get that last breath, as if somebody was drowning and you trying to get your breath, that is the same example of how the thoughts, the thinking goes when you're learning how to stay in that space. Some of us know how to reach that space, but we're in and out with thoughts coming. We got this and that, but we get to a point where we stay. We live from that space. And these are the times that God is reaching out to us as a people, as mankind, humanity, to learn, to practice, to go within yourself, to be in the true essence of ourselves. Meditating, however form of fashion, whether it's walking, whether it's laying down, concentrating, just being in quiet solitude. Okay, some of us, when we get practicing getting into the space of our core essence, becoming one with the all source energy, all creator universe, becoming one in spirit, body, mind, body, spirit. Becoming one with that, it takes practice, because we're not used to it. We're not used to being in a space of no thinking at all, of just moving out of natural. It's a natural thing. It's a natural flow. And it's time we learn how to stay, how to get and stay in that flow. Okay. As we're practicing how to enter into our most inner being, our core, our true inner being. We have an ego. We want to look a certain way. We want to talk a certain way. We want to be a certain thing. That's surface. That's ego. That's outer. But there is a inner being where we're all one. We're of that one source. Separate personalities, but certain things always will be you, You will always be. Even in our natural life, different forms, different fashions. At one age, we're a tomboy. At another age, we a drug addict. At another age, we're alcoholic. At another age, we're preacher. At another age, we're all the stages, mother. At another age, we're I don't know. But in the natural form, even we go through different transformations in the natural. Your spirit is you. That outer, this surface, this ego changes. But that inner core being always was, always is, and always gonna be. So we need to be in touch with what's there after this is gone. It's something still there, which is everything. Which is everything. I mean, when we come to the awareness, when we awake to the true meaning of becoming one, excuse me, becoming one with God, the universe, Most High, the Spirit, Jesus, Allah, Buddha, becoming one, you God. Okay, I'm getting off track because this is what the Most High, my God, want me to say regarding how are we going to recognize when we're in that space of no thoughts. You're not thinking, because if you're thinking one thought, you're in this outer you're in that ego. But when you're entering into that space of no thought, that's when you recognize you're there. You don't have thoughts. That ego, okay, how do we know when we have entered into that space, when the battle between the mind and your spirit, remember, there is no battle. This overcomes everything. This is it. But that mind, it's jealous, it's bold, it's cunning, it'll lie, it'll deceive you. You're working on getting in your space. You're working on learning how to get and stay and live through this, through your true self, through your God being. And when you're practicing that mind, sometimes we in the space of no thought. We're trying to enter into the space of no thought. After a while, it gets to the point we don't try anymore. We could just get there. It gets to the point we stay there. As I'm talking to you right now, I'm in that space because my mind, we supposed to bring our minds into subjection. And how do we bring it into subjection? The only way to bring it into subjection is we have to do it through the power of our spirit, through the power of that God being within us, through the power of you as God. Because you walking in your ego mentality, you can't bring that mind into subjection. That mind can make you think you got power over something, but then you realize you're doing it again a month or two or whatever later. But when you're trying and focusing on entering into that no space, sometimes you'll see your eyeballs switching. Your eyeballs inside your brain, inside your head. You got your eyes closed, but your eyeballs, you feel the nerves. And that's the busyness of the mind. Okay? We're going to reach the level where now we have gotten to the stage where, okay, our eyes are closed, but the eyeballs ain't moving inside our closed eyelids. So we don't reach the point now our eyelids our eyes are closed and the eyes are at peace. The eyes are calm. So now we reach the point where we've calmed. We've gotten into a calm space, but are we here in the core essence of our space yet? Okay. While we're practicing getting into our space, our eyes are closed. That's if you prefer, but that's how most of us get into that space. Just close off. Close it off. Okay, now, so you entered into the calm space. Now you got all these thoughts flashing through our minds. Don't follow the thoughts. Don't carry those thoughts through. Oh, my tea. I want to go get my cup of tea. Oh, I forgot to do this. So we get up and go do it. We get up and go fix the tea. We get up and go this. We start thinking of this and thinking of that. And we just, the mind cunning, the mind clever, the mind knows how to get you from going. It's dividing. It's divided now. That ego does not want to let this power go. You've been running the show for so long. It does not want to become one. And there is order. Your spirit, your soul, and your body. The spirit, that main source energy, is supposed to be controlling every aspect of you. Your soul and body carries out through the core essence of you. But we have it backwards. We're living and moving and having our being in the ego, in the body, in the mind. So, okay, we practicing now. We know that when we're basically getting to the point where we stay in our core essence, we know we're going to have to battle the thoughts, because our mind, soul, our soul has been in control for so long. It's not going to just let you walk in. You're not just going to let somebody walk in and take over. That's how this body feels. But guess what? It's not in control. It doesn't own anything. Get out. You don't run things, but you're a part of me. So you need to be in line with me, with the God in me, with me being God. You need to be in line. Mind, body. The body want to get out of control. You trying to get and stay in that core essence. You get a pain all of a sudden. Now you done got all distracted. Now you're focusing. Oh, now you got to go nurture the pain. The body is not in control either. All things have to be under subjection of the God, the deity within you. But you've got to recognize it when you're there. We've got to become one so it could be home. That's our home. We got to know what our home look and feels like. So when we get and stay in that core essence, that deity within us, the mind going to be in a tug of war. The body is going to be in a tug of war. What we do, it's in survival mode. It's going to calm down sooner or later. After a while, that mind going to realize, hey, she ain't following it. Hey, certain things ain't important. Hey, what's going on? Hey, can you hear me now? Can you hear me? After a while, you'll be seeing thoughts fade away from your core being, from your spirit. It's got to try. But once you learn and practice and have gotten and staying in the spirit, the battles, these tests, these battles be over. If they come your way, you're not even in that space to feel it, to hear it, to see it, like it's trying to come to you. You're not in this outer space. You're not there. You're here. So you can't feel it, see it, hear it as it's trying to get you to. These are things that you're observing from your core being. And observing from your core being, it just so much stuff on the outer wants us to focus, lock in on it. When the objective of life is to focus and lock in on it. So as we're practicing, now that we have time to be home, now that we have time to be quiet, now that we have time to maybe close off all of that outer stuff, now that we're in a position where maybe we could take time out and get to know our own home from within, get to know the God within, so we can start living and moving and having our being from within, being one with the Creator, with the all-source energy, with God, with the Most High. You are God. Same way you hold your breath, practice holding your breath so you could practice knowing when you're in the most core of your being, because you're not thinking. You're not thinking. The thoughts that come from within, it's going to be coming intuitively, not as racing thinking. You're going to be coming intuitively. You're going to be getting ideas and messages intuitively, intuition from your inner, from your spirit. They're not just going to be flashing thoughts coming to you, being influenced from every direction. So much stuff going on. Racing. So, as you learning, practicing how to hold your breath, and observing and being aware of you not having any thoughts, you're going to realize that you're not even thinking. When you're holding your breath, try to see if any thoughts come into your head. That's going to be your most core, just being on the outside. You just looking and observing things. You awake, you aware. Your conscience. You see things, but you're seeing it as you just looking at it. You're in it, but you're not of it. It's not attached to you. Your thoughts should not be attached to you. Nothing material should be attached to you. You're supposed to be observing it, having everyday life as a flow observantly. You living and moving and doing who you being you. You ain't nothing no different. It's nothing no different. You. But it's just coming from a different space. If somebody was trying to do something, whatever to you, if you're in your space, you ain't finna be, you in your space. I'm going to give an example. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I don't even know why I'm going here with this. Oh my gosh. Father, what the world? Wow. You know, even when you're drinking, smoking, you know, even that's why I say whether you bad, good, that don't stop you from being God. That's just a different level that you're experiencing the God in you in. The God in you is observing. You're living in a life on a different level, but that don't take away from you being God. And I'm going to show you an example why. Because back when I was doing drugs, me and this guy, we walking down the street in the wee hours of the night. And even in my drug and alcohol activities, because I came to know my Creator at really being aware and awake and conscious of this core being, I was 19. But I've always had some relationship that I didn't know what recognize. I didn't, as a child, I didn't recognize what was going on. I just knew something was, you know, I had something going on inside. You know, if I shared it or people knew it, I was labeled. But I've always had this something. But anyway, 19 is when I acknowledged and became aware and awake. And you know, so I had got comfortable being in the space. I was kind of almost comfortable being in the space as a child. Even though the different things that I was doing out there in life, I never got attached to a lot of things that I was involved in life. People used to say, how you just stopped doing that? How you did that? Because I was doing it. I had it, but it didn't have me. That's how life is. You have it, but it doesn't have you. You have control over it, but it doesn't have control over you. When things are taking control over you, we're in a bad space. That's when, you know, we've got to detach. Don't become attached. We could be doing the same things as this person and myself. We're doing the same things, but one person may be attached and the other person just doing something. Okay, but what I was getting ready to say was years, like I say, I've had years of recognizing being in this space. So in my drug days, me and this dude walking down the street in the wee hours of the night. I guess we broke now that we done spent all our money on crack or whatever. Ain't no shame in my game because, hey, this is where a lot of people are. So I'm open. I've been there, done that. But God got us where we can share and help us come up out of this mess, up out of this drama life we're living in this world, on this planet. It ain't supposed to be like this. It's supposed to be joy, peace, love. Where is all of that at? Ain't no hitting and missing or you get it every blue moon. No, man, this is supposed to be a lifestyle. Miracles don't supposed to be happening every blue moon. That's supposed to be a lifestyle. What you say, bingo, where is all of this? We can get there. But okay, so me and this guy, we walking in the pitch black night. I think we're broke. I believe we already broke. We I guess we calling it a night and going home. We probably done copped our last nickel or whatever. Father, forgive me, because I don't like details. Because all of us dealing with something. Whether it's food, whether it's some type of compulsive personality. Because that's human nature. Until we learn how to control, how to bring it in line. That's the purpose of this life. How to get back to the core being of being one. But the regular humanity state, anything can be a compulsive indulgence or lack or what. Humanity just got to learn. So your thing ain't no better than nobody else's thing or no worse than nobody else's thing. So that's why the world in the situation we're in now, because we got too much judgment. We got too much separation. I'm better, we better. Our group going this, our group going that. Oh, my race doing this, my race doing that. Oh, my complexion this, my complexion that. Oh, my body size this, oh, my religion is oh, I make more money. That's the stuff that got us in the position humanity is in. But when we're coming from a space of God, of our higher being, of the essence of ourselves, who dealing with that? Who even acknowledging that? But it's a process. It ain't like we're born and into it. And anybody that say they lying. Because that's the purpose we're born on this earth, to find our way back home. And you got to do it from within. We don't want to die and go home. You want to live. I don't want to go home when I'm dead. No, I want to live in home. This is life. Oh, they going to a better place. Better place? Why we can't have that better place now? Now. There is no time. When you're in now, there is no time. But it's a process. But back to where I was saying was how we can recognize that we observe things different when you're coming from the space, from your core being, from the essence of you. Me and this dude, we walking in the dark, in the pitch black. It's about 3, 4, whatever time in the morning. Somebody gonna jump out behind a tree and had on a ski mask. We in the hood. Hood robbing the hood. What person in their right mind gonna rob two? You know they got to be crackheads. Jumping behind a tree, from behind a tree, with a ski mask. 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. Ain't nobody out. You know you're in a drug area. In your right mind, who gonna jump from behind a tree and rob somebody? Look like they too. Come on, give me a break. So that show you our mentalities is like. So what I was trying to say, the dude that I was with, when the man jumped out from behind the tree, talking about, give me all you this, or whatever he did, give me this, whatever he said, the guy that I'm with got butt naked, took off his clothes, and took off. He know exactly who I'm talking to if he was watching me right now. But that was my best friend. I mean, I love humor. Even when I was doing stupid stuff, I want people that around me that make me laugh. But anyway, he got butt naked. I think he left on his underwear. I don't think he was running quite naked. But if I'm not mistaken, I believe this nigga got forgive me, Father, I believe he got butt naked. It took off running. I'm standing there. I'm still pushing my bicycle. I'm like, hey, dude, you want some of this cigarette I got? You want him. You take this cigarette, the rest of this cigarette, and get this beer. Because you need this. Oh, get on out of here. Far as I was concerned, I didn't skip a beat. He didn't scare me when he jumped out from behind the tree. I'm realizing this now. But coming from that space, you're just observing. You're in it, but you're not of it. Oh my gosh. But as I was saying, I didn't miss a step as I was rolling my bicycle. I didn't jump when he jumped from behind the tree. I offered him my cigarette and my beer and told him, look, you need this. He must have got an attitude and said, get out of here. I picked up my friend's clothes off the ground and rolled my bicycle. I think something happened to my bike. Oh, I know. It wasn't my bike. It was the guy's bike that took off running naked. I went and dropped off his clothes and his bike at his house and walked home. I didn't see that guy for like 2 weeks later. But that's the difference. We in it, but we're not of it. We don't have to be a part of this. Detach yourself. We've got to practice it. Stay in that space and observe life from an awareness, awaken a consciousness. You just looking at it as you do. You're just observing it. But you're not cling to it, attached to it. If somebody steal it, break it, get in an argument, we human. But you can always go back home, go back in that inner core being, get back in that personality of the true you. Yeah, when you holding your breath, you can't think. That's how you know you home in your core being. The same way you don't hear nothing or think nothing, but you're not holding your breath when you're home. You're still breathing. You're still living. You're still having your being. All right. I'm waiting on a thought. But again, don't let the thoughts get you all tangled up when you're practicing getting and staying in your space. Don't let those thoughts, don't fight them. Just watch them fade away. Don't fight them and don't follow them. Watch them. I heard one speaker, as clouds. Watch them fade away. A cloud don't basically stay. It may stay there a minute, but it either evaporates or float on. Your thoughts are just but anyway, okay? Bring this mind into subjection from the Most High, from your spirit, from your core essence of you. Bring this body into subjection from your core being, from the essence of God in you, you God. And let your core being be in control of your mind and your body. That's the order. Spirit, soul, and body. Everything's supposed to be in line. All right. Have a blessed day. I love you. How do I cut this? Oh, I almost forgot. It ain't off yet.